All right, so let's go ahead and discuss the Xfinity Series at Dover. I was wanting to see if we'd get more information on rainouts and things of that sort. We ended up having Spire Motorsports withdraw their 77 entry this week, anticipating that we're going to lose Friday track activity, which is tomorrow. There's a good chance we lose Saturday on track activity. There's a real chance that we pushed both races back to Monday. At least have the Cup Series, possibly have a rain-shortened event on Sunday, whatever the case may be. Weather is in the area. That's just how it is. I wanted to try and get as more information on that as possible before I went ahead and looked at the two races. But when we look at the Xfinity Series race, it is a situation where we are probably going to have this be the starting grid. It'll just end up being reversed. I also want to add that. Where are we at here? I also want to add that just for me, I don't really care. Look, I just wait till things are official. NASCAR changes the starting grid all the time. That's just how it is. Just like the finishing order, we always get different things. I always just wait for it to be official. But it should go. This should be the starting grid, just reversed with Kligerman up front, Cole Custer in second, Creed, Burton, all these guys here. Now, if this is the starting grid or something similar, which I assume is going to be something similar. When we look at Dover, okay, this is an intermediate track. But it's an intermediate track. Secondly, not important DFS-wise, this is my favorite track in NASCAR. Like outside of super speedways, favorite track. Love the way it looks. I love the way it races. Yeah, I would love to race it as a driver. It's got to feel fast as a driver. Like, this is the perfect type of racetrack. I wish we would have more. Like old Atlanta, like 90s Atlanta, awesome racetrack. I love ovals. Just love oval racing. That's just how it is. It's a shame that we don't really have those anymore. It's Darlington, Dover, and Bristol, and that's really it. I like Dover's the best, honestly the best racetrack. If we could get one more track like that, that'd be awesome. If it was asphalt, even great. Whatever the case may be. So when we look at that, who have been the cars that carried a ton of speed at the intermediate tracks? Who are the people that were up there competing for the win at Las Vegas, up there competing for laps led at Las Vegas? When we look here, it is certainly not Parker Kligerman. Cole Custer, probably going to start second. I think he might possibly be able to beat Kligerman right off the bat, but look, you have to have concern about Cole Custer just by how he's ran, okay? And it's really it's not, in my opinion, it's not backed up based on data of why the 00 team have been performing so poorly. Okay, when we look at the previous races that we've been pushed to, looked at, pointed towards Cole Custer, he has checked every box from track history to history leading up to whatever race it may be, with how Stuart Haas is running in general, him in general, and then we go to practice speed. He qualifies well, so on and so forth, and he just doesn't have it in the race. I don't have a reason for that. I think it has to be something mental, something in his approach, something in his it's something in with him. I don't think it's the car or anything, because we've seen Riley Herbst just be as fast. And so the reason I'm saying this is when I look at these guys up here, the two cars that stand out to me that are projected to start in the top 10, which, Chandler Smith is going to start ninth and stuff, but it's Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill. Those are your two cars starting up front that I would have interest in being lap leaders, okay? And it's not just because, we're looking at starting grid here. I just have this on screen for you guys to look at in general. I'll probably take it off and go through my data in a bit, but the RCR cars have been extremely fast. We saw that Austin Hill was able to run them down at Las Vegas. Great long run speed. Going to be huge. You're going to have a lot of tire fall, which every place has tire fall off now. But Dover is a place that I want to target a team who's going to have a good long run car, going to be able to get through the field, going to be able to certainly pass everybody around him. Austin Hill screams to me as somebody that I would want to target this week. Okay, when we look at its pricing on DraftKings, Austin Hill is the most expensive, 11.3, which backs that up again. That okay, even DraftKings can identify that Austin Hill is going to be a contender for this race. So Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed are probably the two early targets that I would have purely based on qualifying. And based on that, the other people that I want to talk to, if we're looking at these situations here, like clearly we're playing Sammy Smith. Clearly, like there's clear plays that we have here. Timmy Hill bringing a lot of money into this race. They, unfortunately, Stacy got involved in the wreck at Daytona or Talladega. Let me look real fast. Let me just check really quick, because I mean they've been and you have to look at this in terms of what MBM does. Like whenever they are actually pushing a sponsorship, in this case Wild Willies, a lot of money being put into this car. That's just how it is. Yeah, it was Stacy did get. Yeah, okay, I just went blank. I forgot that Perkins was flipping, but Stacy destroyed the car at Talladega. Pretty gnarly frame damage on that one, so that's very unfortunate. So at this point, that's actually really, really financially important for MBM. For where that team is in terms of their bankroll for the season, their budget for the season. They've missed races. They've had cars get torn up. They've had a lot of issues happen. And coming off the bad wreck at Talladega, this is a situation where I think MBM also views this as really their last kind of chance for this year to really salvage their year. I know that sounds a bit extreme to explain at this point. You know, we're barely at the end of April, and you know, look, MBM is not going to fold, but I'm talking about in terms of being competitive, in terms of being able to keep competing this year and have a chance at like making races and actually having a chance to make this year worth it in terms of, you know, I mean, they're hemorrhaging money anyway. Like I said, they're not going under, but like this is it, in my opinion. Dover is absolutely a make or break race for MBM, for Timmy Hill in the 66, and the fact that we get Timmy Hill at $4,900, I would honestly be okay if you want to lock Timmy Hill in. His pricing works easily. If he ends up starting near the rear, which is probably either going to be third to last, second to last, whatever the case may be, easily going to be able to pay that off. Easily. No worries outside of a mechanical issue. But this is a situation where we get Timmy Hill in a must-perform situation. We get this team in a must-perform situation. We get this team with a sponsored ride. A lot of money, as I said, a lot of money being put into the 66 this weekend. Timmy Hill should absolutely be a priority. Absolutely. I see no reason to not play Timmy Hill at this moment. I would much rather play him over Dawson Cram. I don't think Dawson Cram is going to make the race if they get rained out. But I would much rather play him over Patrick. I would much rather play him over CJ. I would much rather play him over Chastain. Okay, we could start making arguments between Earnhardt, Smithley, and everything like that. But Timmy Hill should absolutely be a priority play. I find it very hard to believe he doesn't pay that off. I find it very hard to believe that Timmy Hill isn't optimal in this Dover race. Okay, those are the three main drivers I wanted to discuss right here in a situation to where we, qualify from here without talking about track data, without talking about this year's data in general. Timmy Hill, Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill should be Timmy Hill for sure, but I think Austin Hill and Creed make a lot of sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and start looking more towards the how these guys are performing and stuff. Man, I can't let me just whack the shit out of my hand when I hit that. That really hurt. I have it tilted this way because I've had some people be like, "You're too close to the microphone," which is fine. So I moved it a little bit. Anyway, when we look at the Xfinity Series and we look at Las Vegas, okay? So the Collie cars were stupid fast. It was Chandler Smith and Kyle Busch leading the field. Ran away with that. Austin Hill runs them down. Blah blah blah. So Austin Hill makes a ton of sense. Ran nearly the entire race as the best car outside of Chandler Smith and stuff. So Chandler Smith and Austin Hill were right there. We also have got the wrong way, not the wrong race, but I am looking at. I need to move this over. We have Allgaier, who was also up there. We have Sam Mayer, who was also up there. as fast cars. The main people that I want to focus on here are more, more so like place differential positions outside of the people I just mentioned there, but people who are gonna offer a ton of upside here in terms of place differential. Kyle Weatherman in the R Motorsports car should end up being a pretty good play just in general. Should have a pretty fast car in general. Sammy Smith going to be up there competing between RCR, Joe Gibbs, and Junior Motorsports. Nemechek and Sammy are priorities in any situation. If we end up getting the rain tomorrow and we don't qualify, Sammy Smith should be an absolute lock in terms of place differential that he can offer. Sam Mayer, Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier have all been fast cars. If they get ran out, all three of those guys are in play based on how they qualified. And there's a real chance that I know I mentioned Austin Hill, and I just talked about him a lot. If we do get rained out, there's a real chance that you don't need to play Austin Hill, and you don't necessarily need the leader if they lose the lead and if it's swapped a lot between the guys up front. Like, for example, Klickerman, Custer, Creed, whatever the case may be, there's a real chance in this race that place differential can get it done with the 200 laps, which I'm pretty sure it's 200 laps off the top of my head, if I remember. If I remember correctly, this race should be 200 laps. Let me see. Let me look. Anyway, there's a real chance that the place differential can get it done, specifically coming off of a race that... What the fuck is this? It's 200... Wait a minute. What? What? Am I an idiot? Oh, that's the Truck Series schedule. I was like, why is it showing Kansas? Yeah, I was looking at the Truck Series. Sorry. Yeah, the A game too. Yeah, it's 200 laps at Dover. There's a real chance that due to the fact that we're coming off of a wreck field event at Talladega, the fast cars in this race, Sammy Smith at 88, Sam Mayer at 88, Ryan Truex, Allgaier, even Barry, people who are involved in wrecks at Talladega due to their starting position can easily, and specifically if it really is Sam Mayer and Sammy Smith, there's a real chance this weekend gets unfun because I would absolutely go 100% in 10, 15 lineups of Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, Timmy Hill. That is $9,100, Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, Timmy Hill. If this race is rained out, there's a real chance I approach this race like a Counter-Strike situation to where, or even if whatever situation you want to go through, and I lock those three in, and I spend the next 10 laps or the next 10 lineups filling out the other three positions. Because the upside that they have at their price point can easily pay it off, can easily be optimal. That's why I'm kind of wanting to wait more, and we can talk about it on a live show on Saturday. But I really want to wait more and see if we do get rained out. Because if we get it rained out, Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, Timmy Hill should be optimal, in my opinion. Certainly, they're going to score well. We're going to see a big discrepancy in speed between these cars at Dover. Fast cars, good teams are going to have a phenomenal advantage over the smaller teams, and at that point it's kind of pointless of kind of going through driver by driver stuff. It really does lean Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, Timmy Hill, in my opinion. And at that point, we'll then actually start projecting where I think people are going to finish and stuff like that. This is a short one here, but weather's in the area. There's a real chance we go to just a qualifying format, so we won't have practice. We kind of just have to lean off of what we've seen at other tracks this year, which is mainly Las Vegas, and even at some point some of that will be negated because we just have place differential that we're probably going to be chasing more at this racetrack than not. That's my preview for the Xfinity Series at Dover. I will see you guys in the live show on Saturday, and feel free to check out the Cup Series video whenever that's up. See you guys later.